Hey, everybody, and welcome to the second AJS news video we got for you this week.
Go watch the first one, and then also stay tuned for an important word from our brand new sponsor. Super excited about this one we've worked with in the past, and I hope we work with in the future. Check it out. Hey guys, I want to thank Crunchyroll for sponsoring this video. And right now, if you click the link below, you're going to get 2 weeks free of Crunchyroll Premium. Easiest sponsor I've ever done. I am so happy to work with Crunchyroll. I love anime. I love asking you guys what animes to watch. So not only are you going to get access to their largest collection of licensed anime on the internet, but you get this Mega Fan and Ultimate Fan accounts where you get access to like offline viewing, where you literally download anime. So like if you're stuck at work or family gatherings,
Especially
of course,
work.
on Christmas, Joey got Christmas. If you don't want to hang out with your family, you can watch anime instead. Download the shows directly to your phone or your tablet.
And now's also the perfect time because Attack on Titan, the final season, is airing right now. Perfect show to binge at the end of the year.
That thing's been out forever, and I've been waiting to see how, what is the next
up.
chapter in the season. You need to see it if you haven't seen it, Joe.
I need to catch
Goblin
up on
Slayer,
my
man.
stuff. So if
Yeah.
anybody can recommend some good horror ones, I love horror.
Or, okay.
I'll be on the lookout.
Recommend some anime for other
Horror.
Joe. Of course, Crunchyroll has Dragon Ball Super that I'm big into. I'm also watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, not the first season, the season with the stands. That's a really good one. Funny, I recommend it. So, guys, click the links down below. Show Crunchyroll that we support them. They support the Angry Army. Thank you so much to Crunchyroll, and I hope you guys enjoy. Check it out. Nothing better than anime, nothing better than going through, some of your favorite series. I love these stories, guys. If you guys would make recommendations for this guy over here who definitely hates anime. Yes,
Scary.
but also give him other recommendations too, right? Because there's some good stuff. Don't limit yourself to just one, Joe.
Oh, I never limit myself. No.
So, guys, thank you to Crunchyroll so much for supporting the Angry Joe Show. If we can show some support back by clicking those links below, browse around, show them that you're engaging, and consider it, all right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and, let's get to the news.
Cyberpunk.
Okay. Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
What a
Cyberpunk.
hot fire, huh?
Yeah, this
Wow,
this
I
video,
never expected it. I really
It gets worse and worse.
never fucking expected this, man. It's depressing. It made me stop playing the game for a while. That's how depressed I was.
Yeah.
I just like I
2020.
completely checked out
Garbage.
because it like this got me deep down because this is a company that I really
flew out to see
respected.
them
I
and-
flew out to see them multiple times.
That passion and everything.
Giving credit and where credit is due. And honestly, you have to give shit where shit is due. And shit is due. Shit is due.
All right, let's talk about
Quote, Angry Joe 2020.
Shit is
Shit
due.
is due.
shit is due.
Shit is doo-doo.
All right. Did you know that sometimes when you play Cyberpunk and you are collecting too many things on the ground, you like to pick up stuff off the ground?
This is the worst. I collect everything.
He
Now,
picks up every studded butt
every
plug that he
fucking
finds.
thing.
He picks up.
It's
Oh, you
money,
could
Alex. It's money.
$3 per butt
Everything.
plug. Now the problem.
Wondering why my game was more buggy than y'all's and fucking feeling
butt
like
plug.
It's
shit.
the butt plugs.
If it gets up to what is it?
8 megabytes.
8 megabytes.
So you can get your save files can become corrupted if you have too much stuff, and it could be crafting materials. It could be all sorts of things.
Wow.
Now, originally the claims were on
Scary.
PC only, and then some people were claiming it happened on theirs. Now,
In an RPG,
don't pick up
CD Projekt Red says, guys, can you please not pick up too many things? The game will corrupt and break if you're picking up too many things. In a fucking RPG!
It's so random, though. It's like, I need $3. I see a butt plug in front of me. I
on
want
the
to pick
ground.
it
It's
up.
in the gutter.
I want to pick it up, but I've been playing 40 hours. I'm scared if I pick it up,
Was it
I'm
crash
going
your
to
save
lose
file?
everything.
Now,
Okay, hold on. This is fucking ridiculous, and I hate it.
yes.
I just want to say, hold on, this is ridiculous, and I
Look.
just want to stop everything. No, I want to stop everything.
They have some calm words for you. Look, do you want me to read what they said?
Okay.
This
Let
is
me
with you.
let me hold what you're going to say, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm going to stop the recording now. Because I just realized this week I wanted to install a new soundboard. And if we actually do an episode where half of it's this and half of it is that, people can actually compare the two. So let me just try the new soundboard, okay?
Okay.
So we're
Break
going to stop
time.
the story in mid-story. I know. I just remembered, all right? Okay. So we're going to get right back to Cyberpunk bullshit. Ready? And we're back. This is the new soundboard. I just upgraded to a Behringer, so let us know
Midway
how you
through.
think. Because the thing is, I think the other one was peaking when I would scream and yell, and it's kind of hard to contain the Angry Joe, especially when we're talking about CD Projekt Red fucking up on their greatest video game and release in recent memory. What was supposed to be, and then half-assing it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you don't want your save file to be corrupted, all you have to do is keep a, quote, lower amount of items and crafting materials.
Don't tell me how to play my game, Alex.
So stop picking up all those butt plugs.
It's money.
Yes.
I need to buy my guns and my cyberware.
Yes. And so once your save file is corrupted, there's nothing you can do about it. It's just corrupted. Now, if you have multiple save files and there's autosaves, you can always go back to those things. But corrupted save files have ruined the gaming experience for a lot of people over a huge variety of games. Subnautica comes to mind, Mario RPG. God damn you, Mario RPG. Just corrupted save files suck. And this is just another thing to add on to the list of shit where the game was not ready.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, because that's terrifying for me to just like, all right, is this
Now
what's
you
going
have
to
to-
tip me over? I don't know. Now,
Quick save.
It's in the back of your
every
mind.
time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
Multiple save
paranoid,
files.
though.
Well, you have to do multiple save files too, because if you have, if you keep using the same save file over and over and over, and that does get corrupted, you'd have to go back who knows how many hours.
Yep. Unfortunately, the save is damaged and cannot be recovered.
Yep, you are just absolutely screwed. All right, so that's just another thing to add to the list. That's a kind of a minimal problem. People with big problems. The CD Projekt Red founders lost $1 billion.
Holy.
Billion.
Wait, what? Come again?
The tumbling share.
$1 billion.
The tumbling
lost.
share price of CD Projekt has cost the Cyberpunk Studios founders more than $1 billion in wealth. Such a shit show.
Do you see how important it is to do it right the first time?
Yeah. Their stock fell so much that people are upset. Really upset. So much so that that's that little mini story. But the big story here is there's groups of investors in Poland that are looking at filing suit, saying reportedly considered class action lawsuit against CD Projekt Red. Now, people are talking about, man, we'll get them for false advertising, we'll do it for all these things. That is really, really difficult to do. Consumers suing for false advertising, really hard. Investors going after people for misleading them. People put in a bunch of money expecting, much like everyone else, expecting this game to come out finished and ready.
That
just was
to
not the
hold
case.
stronger.
So
This is what happens when you play fast and loose with the truth about the quality of the product. And I just never thought I'd be saying that about CDPR.
Yeah, and so they're looking into the viability of going after them. Now, of course, CD Projekt Red has spoken to the investors multiple times, which is where we have a lot of information coming as consumers. They're not talking to us directly, but they're talking to their investors about the development process. But these people were so upset that saying, look, you misled consumers. You didn't show what it looked like on these things. There's an Xbox Cyberpunk Xbox that cannot play Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
That's a problem, and this is such a problem that the investors are like, look, you misled the consumers to the point where we lost a ton of money. Now, low Metacritic scores, they care about, but they don't really care about. But when you start screwing with the money,
The cash flow.
that is when these people are going to come after you.
Yeah.
And so that's what they did. So in addition to all the consumers being mad, the investors are mad. And this is going to
And
potentially...
short sellers on the stock market looking at a profit off of the game's bad reputation. If you have this kind of disastrous release, you have a pile-on effect from people that want to make money from your loss. And from, this honestly would not even be a thing if they had just... taken some extra time and delayed the game even further, or at least not told people that, the last gen versions run surprisingly well. Was the quote? Surprisingly well.
It's like surprise mechanics. Surprise, a bug.
Surprise.
Quite fun and ethical.
Surprise. Well, it doesn't work. And it is a mess.
The next article we have is Cyberpunk 2077 developers were updating the last gen version until the very last minute, talking about how the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One versions of the game were being worked on constantly. It was never ready in January, like they said. It was never close to being ready in April. It was not
that
a close
gold stamp.
And so they pushed it all the way through. and it's just they were misleading people, and so these people were working crunch, which was an issue.
Yeah,
they
so
had
I
unrealistic.
feel bad for them.
Oh, for sure. They had unrealistic deadlines, which they've talked about. Jason Schreier is fishing for information now. He's actually interviewed several people there saying that.
I'm sure something's coming from
Oh,
him.
there's going to be
putting together something.
a big article talking about how the deadlines were completely and totally unfair for these people.
Yeah.
And honestly,
I already knew that, working there is tough, because they expect the best, they want the best of their employees and all this other stuff, but then putting them through that type of crunch and then still releasing it in this state and then probably putting them through a little mini crunch too to fix the game.
When everyone knew it was not ready. Like, this is just going to be pandemonium, which it was. And now everyone is all hands on deck.
Yeah, and you got lawsuits coming in for misrepresentation. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly.
Yeah, it's a big problem. So in another call to investors, because again, they're constantly trying to make these people feel better. 4 members of the management team faced questions from shareholders, mostly focused on the current issues with last-gen consoles, and they were asking about negative feedback and all these other things. And according to management, they're like, no, more people wouldn't have helped. It's not the last gen console's fault. It was really, we try to push things too far, push things too fast. They were really trying to make a PC game and do a console port. And 7-year-old hardware in a console was really and honestly probably never going to work. If you were designing something for a 2080 Ti or a 3080, it's not going to run on a PlayStation 4, which is the issue that they had.
Yeah.
So
it needed to be a different version. It needed to be developed by a completely different team, which it probably was. But they needed far more time. They needed to delay that version to avoid a lot of this kind of stuff. Instead of doing a simultaneous release where they have to fix issues across all the different platforms. It's tough. And if you love the game, which I actually like the game, I still like it. I'm not fucking saying it's a bad game, because it's not a bad game. It's released in a bad state. And if you like the game, then continue to like the game and know that there's 2 updates that they've guaranteed amongst many, I'm sure, in January and in February.
There's a recent one,
but again, we shouldn't be here. And if you hate the game, you never want to buy it, that's fine. If you feel like you got burned by CD Projekt Red, people did actually legitimately get burned.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, almost an admission of guilt. This is what that he had to say. After three delays, we as the management board were too focused on releasing the game. We underestimated the scale and complexity of the issues. We ignored the signals about the need for additional time to refine the game on the base last-gen console. It was the wrong approach and against our business philosophy. On top of that, during the campaign, we showed the game mostly on PC. So they knew the entire time. They had people within the company saying the game will not be ready. The developers have said that. Again, this is the people that are talking to Jason Schreier now about it. And so they knew, and they know it was against their philosophy, but they did it anyway. And this is where we talk about, CD Projekt Red isn't dead to me, but they definitely get knocked off.
So many apologists in the IGN comments. It's just amazing, how people just accept this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, it's our fault that they... Nope! You stop right there. Anybody making dumbass comments like this, it's like, oh, quit your whining, they'll be fixing the game soon, or oh, it's not that big deal. Oh, if you just then refund it and shut up. No, the issue here is that CD Projekt Red has presented itself as a certain way to consumers, and they have for many, many years, and they failed. They failed on those fronts. They failed to back up their words with action, right? And when that happens, they deserve a certain amount of, hey, what's going on here, man? Tell us what happened, kind of thing. And
it's kind of like
people to defend the game, like I see like this in the comments as, oh, it's not that big of a deal and this and that, and everybody needs to shut up and they need to stop talking about it. It's like, I don't know where this attitude comes from. Sunk cost fallacy? Like what gives people the motivation to
Well, I feel like it's like IKEA furniture. It's like, oh yeah, we'll send you piece by piece. It'll be ready. I don't know when, but it's gonna be ready. It's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just wait.
I get my IKEA furniture all in one piece, Joe. That it comes all. Did they tell you that they were gonna give it to you?
Analogy.
Okay, my
It's
bad.
like, here's one piece. It's like, it's gonna be. This is what it looks like. I'll give you the pieces later.
Yes.
It's not built. It's not ready.
Like a live
I'll hold
service.
up.
Like a live service.
basically.
Live service game. But instead we're doing live service fixes.
Well, in addition to it being just a failure, you mentioned that it's a failure. You're absolutely right. It is a failure, but it goes a step beyond that. There are consumer protection groups in the world. I'm looking at you, Australia, and I imagine the ACCC in Australia is probably looking into what was advertised and what was delivered. And there are consumer protection laws all over the world, and I'm almost certain they violated some of them. So much so that we've already talked about their investors are thinking about suing them about misrepresenting that information. It's not that they set out to make a great product and failed. It's they knew that they were doing it wrong, and that's what that admission was. It's like, we did something against our core philosophy. It's like, yeah, you did.
It wasn't
and
ready.
you may have falsely advertised it, at least to the investors and certainly to consumers. And I mean,
I don't want them to get sued out of existence. And
I don't think
want
they
them-
can get sued
and
out
I
of
don't
existence.
think that you know a lot of this is as malicious as maybe some people are making it out to be. This was a dropped ball situation and a situation that needs to be rectified as soon as possible. Refunds need to be given, which is all that they're doing. They're taking the actions that they need to take, and then we can both agree that it never should have happened in the first place. But to say that the game is, it's just, God, man, how the fuck did this happen? And a lot of people, I see the same meme over and over where it's like, gamers are screaming, release the game. And then CD Projekt Red, they put this logo on the fucking biker's head and they say, here's the game. And then it's broken. And it's like CD Projekt Red walks out the door. It's like, that is the wrong mentality.
Yeah.
I don't care if we weren't the ones sending death threats, and if one of the developers says, hey, there was some death threats sent to us, so we released the game. Nobody said that. CD Projekt Red did not release the game because they were being threatened to death by gamers. Yes, there was pressure from idiots and weirdos that are like, release the game, or I'm going to lose my shit, or I'm going to cancel my pre-order. You ignore those people. So it's not from incredible pressure from entitled gamers. That's part of it. It's a small piece of it, but it was money. It's money. It's release the game right now. We have the highest number of pre-orders. This is before Christmas. This is when people are spending their money. It's release it now. If we delay it, then we could lose sales. We lose pre-orders. We lose stock. We lose profit. We lose stock prices. But all that stuff is happening anyway because of the state that it was released in. If you had just done it, you would have seen that you would have made out about the same, if not better. You would have made out better, and you wouldn't have lost the respect. The respect, Lebowski, that's important. Yep. It's important moving forward.
Yeah. So, and to further the statement, after he said we showed the game mostly on PCs, he kind of apologized for showing it only running on high-end machines. The reasons that we were updating the game on last-gen consoles until the very last minute, and we thought we'd make it in time. Unfortunately, this resulted in giving reviewers just one day before the reviews, which was definitely too late, and the media didn't get a chance to review it properly.
I don't think that they need to be sued out of existence with the investors and stuff. That's too far, because then it's like, wait a minute. You want to sue CD Projekt Red for this? Like, what happened? Why don't we sue fucking EA? Why don't we sue Activision? Why don't we sue Bethesda for the fucking state of Dishonored 2 and Fallout 76? What about all those companies? No Man's Sky. That was a lot of deceptive practices there. They didn't get sued.
I don't think
they probably should have been sued. Aliens, Colonial Marines, Sega. There's a huge list, and as far as trying to sue them for all the money that they have, I think that is an overreaction, at least in my point of view. Now, if they had, said, here's the one feature that's in the game, and it's on the box art, and it's in the bullet points, and this is the way it needs to be, and that was what they were selling the whole game on, and it was not there, and it's a complete lie, then yeah, they need to be sued, for definitely.
I mean, they showed the game almost entirely on high-end PCs.
Right, and didn't, you're right. That's true.
And so if you were an investor and someone from CD Projekt Red is like, hey, we're in the home stretch, we need some more money. Yep. Would you like to invest? It's like, yeah, the stock price is at all-time high. Things are going to go great. This is what the game looks like. And then you show what the Keanu meme up here where he looks like. So it's like, look.
They need to have shown off some of those last gens to set people's expectations.
Yeah, and so it depends on what the investors were shown, right? If the investors were shown one thing and were misled in any sort of way, I'm not saying they need to be sued out of existence. They definitely shouldn't, because I want them to continue to make games and I want them to make it better. But if you screwed over your investors because you lied to them,
I'm just
that
mad.
is something you get sued for.
The point I was making is I'm just mad that other companies like EA get away with this shit fucking daily. Fucking weekly. Other companies, Bethesda, EA, Activision, fucking even small, like No Man's Sky, where they promise the world and then deliver not, it makes me so angry but I'm glad that we're here at this point, that if you do something like this, the gaming industry is like, the gamers themselves are like, you done fucked up.
Yeah.
And now you have serious consequences. And I'm glad it's to that point, but it just makes me so angry that all the consequences weren't there for all of these people in the past.
I don't think EA's got.
I don't think they'll get sued either. I think that court case probably won't go forward. I could be wrong. They could definitely go forward.
I think they have grounds. I just don't think that. So I think EA is all about deceiving the consumers, and I don't think they deceive their shareholders because I think EA is more concerned with making sure that the money stays right. And I think CD Projekt Red, we got to realize that they're new to being the on and off biggest, because they were at one point the biggest gaming company in Europe, and then they weren't, and then they were again, and so they are newer to being that level, right? They haven't been at the top for that long. EA has, and I don't think No Man's Sky actually had a whole lot of public investors. Maybe they had private investors that were secretly, but there were so many people. Their company was worth $6 billion US. CD Projekt was. That money came from investors, and those people are probably potentially rightfully okay or upset. All right. So the next story, these are two stories that we kind of talked about a little bit in standalone videos, but I want to make sure that we covered. So there's a game that was supposed to be released on Good Old Games called Devotion.
Wow.
And so it was by Red Candle Games, and so it was going to be launched. Originally, it was launched on Steam. And there was like this super secret hidden Winnie the Pooh on a wall.
Piece of wall. And it hidden in the artwork barely.
Yeah, it was barely visible. But the issue is the Chinese government does not like comparisons to their leader and Winnie the Pooh. And so because this image was in the game.
Demon.
Now, they said that it was, some rogue developer did it. It could have been intentional or unintentional. It doesn't matter. It was removed, but it didn't stop they're claiming that it's all of the gamers were super mad. All the Chinese gamers were super mad. And it definitely wasn't the government. They promised. It promised it wasn't the government. And so they got it removed from Steam, and then finally it was going to be relaunched on Good Old Games. And you're like, look, CD Projekt Red's a company that's going to be like, man, they removed the thing. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Nope. It was immediately removed. They bent the knee. Ultimately, is what it came down to. There's
Money.
they're like the censorship is something that we're okay with. China said no.
That's the part that makes me the most angry. And when I went off on the angry rant when we did it before, it's like it's been removed. They've capitulated, even though they don't technically need to capitulate if they're releasing in the West. What does Chinese the government there and being offended and a certain political supporters of a certain political party in that country have to do with games released in the United States? If they're offended by something, then they don't buy the product, right? In the United States. Now, I understand if you want to look, it's their country. They can limit the sale or ban the sale in their own country. But as soon as you come up over here and you say, Alex, who lives in Texas, you cannot buy this horror game because there's Winnie the Pooh and Winnie the Pooh pisses off our president. Fuck you.
Alex actually
loves Winnie the Pooh.
I know you like Winnie the Pooh. You grew up with it. I grew up with Winnie the Pooh too, even though Tiger is an asshole. He's just annoying.
He's annoying.
He's just so annoying.
What are we doing?
Focus. Listen.
Winnie the Pooh rants.
You know what? We should ban
No. So like we talked about in the rant, what ends up happening is China's censorship has a policy where if we don't like it, we don't want anyone to see it. Period.
And you cannot control the United States like that. And Poland like that. This is a Polish company, GOG, and for them to capitulate to that and bend the knee to and then blame it on gamers. I want to see those messages. I've said GOG. I'm not going to give up on this.
There was one message. I told you what the message was. It was the pie chart. It's a simple pie chart. This is how much money you will make selling Devotion, and it's a line on the pie chart. This is how much money you will lose because the Chinese government will no longer allow you to sell your games to the Chinese market. It's billions of dollars.
You're right.
That's the one email they got.
So it's irrelevant if they show us the 7 emails that they got, the 3 emails that they got from actual Chinese gamers who say
that's the email address. It was actual Chinese gamer at china.com is the email they got sent from.
I don't doubt it. And you know what? If you want to do that, then why not create a system where it's like, okay, we listed on GOG, but show China that in the Chinese client for GOG, or if you go into your localization and you set your region to China, then it's not there. I'm willing to do that. And that's not even something I would like to do. I'm saying in order to get this fucking listed to prevent them from fucking pulling it down in other fucking regions or limiting it to us or taking it away from us, censoring it from us, at least have an option like that if you want access to the Chinese market, because there's no way around that. You're right. It's like if you want to make, millions of dollars, billions of dollars, because there's lots of gamers in China, you got to try to find a way to do it. We'll find a smarter way. Do not ban it for everybody because actual Chinese gamer number 517, on their email account said that I don't like that, pull it down.
Well, so the other thing that we kind of failed to mention in the Angry Rant is we talked about this a couple months ago. What is the other thing that CD Projekt has coming out in the next couple months?
Hold on, it's CD Projekt Group that owns GOG and CD
Projekt
Projekt Red. So it's not CD Projekt Red themselves.
CD Projekt owns both.
Yeah.
So CD Projekt has a mobile game coming out. We talked about this a couple months ago.
Oh,
the largest mobile game market in the entire world.
They don't want any controversy to then blow up and have backdraft onto their mobile game sales.
Their mobile game has to be released in China, period. That is their business goal. It has to be because it's the largest mobile game market. They love cashing in loot boxes and doing all the things that CD Projekt probably wants them to do. Yeah. And if it was a simple thing like you either sell Devotion or you sell your mobile game in China, it's an easy answer. Mm-hmm. It just sucks because we just falsely assume that they're like, no, we'll stick to our guns. We have standards. We don't have preferences. And no, CD Projekt Red has preferences. They do not have standards, and they've proven to us multiple times in the past couple of weeks. And this is just another instance.
I need to stop reading IGN comments. This is the first time I've ever had a laptop in front of me to see reaction to the news. Look at this. This is just dumb. Remember back in the day how the screenshots on the back of the game boxes never looked like the in-game graphics? And now this, just in case it's just a case of everybody loves to tear down a hero. Not that a game developer is ever really a hero. But CD Projekt Red did do several nice things for the industry, starting with the DRM free store. Aren't people overreacting a little here? It's like, what? How are you comparing broken-ass games? This guy clearly has not played any of the fucking broken versions. He's not played the fucking PS4. He's not played the fucking Xbox One, where it's literally when we were watching it with Jacob, it's like
it was 2 frames per second.
It's 2 frames per second. You see a bullet come out, the fucking thing.
Everything was bullet
time
on accident.
Screen. Our cars would flip over, and we couldn't fucking progress in the next one. We had to load another one, and then it was It constantly interrupts the experience. So that's what people are talking about. They're not talking about, okay, does that glasses that guy's wearing have a glint in the rim versus this one that doesn't have a glint in the rim?
Well,
that's not what people are fucking talking about. God, people are so stupid.
All we can wish for is hopefully his files get corrupt.
Yeah. We
and
hope
then he'll get mad.
Hey, pick up about 257 dildos, mother trucker.
Yeah.
It's like I just lost 20 hours.
He probably doesn't even play the game.
Hey,
See, I
it's
need to
okay.
stop looking at this guy.
You do.
Yeah. Everyone likes to invalidate everyone else's argument. Oh, I had a great time, so no one had a bad time. It's like
I had a great. I like that one. I had a great. What? People should just start typing their actual meanings. Yeah. I had a great time, so nobody else had a bad time.
I like CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
All right. The last story
I do like CD Projekt Red, and this is why we are giving them shit. It's called tough love.
If OJ
it's called tough love.
Got addicted to heroin, we'd beat the crap out of him.
It's true.
That's right. We would take him to rehab afterwards, but we would beat the hell out of him.
Yeah, before then after.
Before and
All right. The last one we want to talk about is another one we did a video on. So Sony pulls Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store. Again, we did an Angry Rant on it. You can check out the long form. Wanted to give you kind of the bullet points, and we already got a little bit of a clarification in there. So PlayStation said blanket policy, no refunds, right? As long as it's 14 days from the time that you bought it, it has to be within 14 days. You can't have downloaded it, or it gets up to the release date, you can't do it. Now, CD Projekt Red said, no, we'll make sure you get your refunds, or if you call PlayStation Direct, you could have gotten your refunds. But now they said, nope, if you bought it on the PlayStation Store digitally, you get your refunds. Now, PlayStation doesn't have a diverse or robust refund situation because they don't do refunds. Right. And so what that meant is if they were going to give you refunds on Cyberpunk, they cannot list Cyberpunk on there because you would download it, you'd play it for a week, and then get your refund. Mm-hmm. And so they had to pull it from the store. And so that's what ended up happening. Right. So they got pulled from the store, and Sony put out a statement saying that we want to have a high level of consumer satisfaction, a bunch of PR bullshit because that's not true.
Course,
They've got the worst, the worst one ever. And so it's unfortunate. So CD Projekt Red in talking with the investors, again, we're getting all this information because they're feeding it to the investors because You always got to
Money.
go back to the money.
Yeah, that's where the most accurate information is going to be, unfortunately.
Yeah, and so they said, following our discussion with PlayStation, a decision was made to temporarily suspend digital distribution of Cyberpunk 2077 on PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
First of all, we would like to start by apologizing to you for not showing the game on base last-gen consoles. We should have paid more attention, more like fake apology stuff.
And people are forgetting that you know, CD Projekt Red has offered themselves to make it right in terms of they're going to give you the full refund.
Yeah, they'll give
at
you
their
money
own
back.
cost, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And well, it should be at their own cost. Xbox has now joined in the fray and
Yes.
said Xbox users who bought it can get a full refund for after the disastrous launch. So and at this point, people that are making more about it need to come down because at the same more about like us complaining about it and us giving them crap about it need to calm down because guess what? CD Projekt Red. If you're worried that all of this will hurt CD Projekt Red, yes, it has hurt them. And also, but don't forget that it has already been profitable, okay? So they already made their money back on the digital sales alone. So it's not as if because all of this shit talking and all of this controversy has happened, they're not going to make their money back. They're going to go out of business. It's nothing like that.
They have a mobile
guys.
game coming out in China. They're not worried about money.
They're not going anywhere. So I just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah, so it's going to be gone for a little while. Now, the state for PlayStation from personal experience was completely unplayable for the first 2 days.
Yep.
Patch 1.04
Yeah,
fixed most of the stability problems. It wasn't crashing all the time. We weren't getting bullet time on accident. And played it most of the weekend. And with almost no issues. Lots of pop-in. Textures are bad.
More playable. So.
It's a game that doesn't look good on last-gen consoles. And they've said it's not going to. CD Projekt Red said, under no circumstance will this ever look good on last-gen consoles. I think I've got the quote. They won't make the game on last-gen consoles look like it's running on a high-spec PC or next-gen console, but it'll be closer to that experience than it is now. So they're working on making it a little bit better, but the game is playable on consoles now, at least. So yeah, I don't think there are people out there the people on the internet are like, oh, I've got my refund. It's like the vast majority of people are keeping the game because it is a pretty good game, and it is a game that's getting better with every patch.
Exactly.
These are the dumbest people on the planet.
I thought you said you were going to stop reading them.
Witcher 3. We said to stop.
Witcher 3 was a linear title. What do you expect when they go into an open world? Witcher 3. What?
Nope.
I'm done. This is.
It was linear.
Did we just lose our
You
recording?
just go one.
Oh shit! No. No, we're still recording.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I couldn't
Anyways,
go anywhere in
IGN
Witcher
comments. Do
3.
not go into the. I didn't think that there would be anything worse than the YouTube comment section when you're pissing off some people. But no, if you piss off,
Have you
some
read
people, go to the
IGN articles?
Comment section. No, I just went
You
straight to the
get
comments.
comments on par with the level of writing and journalism at IGN.
Oh,
and
There's nowhere to go in Witcher. What the hell are you talking about?
Witcher 3 is a linear game. These people are moronic. They'll do any gymnastics that they can in order to protect CD Projekt Red. But
there's people on both. There's people tearing him down for no reason. There's people defending him for no reason.
Sure, but that's what happens when this type of controversy happens. And we just was hoping that the game would release in a relatively polished state. I know Witcher 3 released; it had its fair share of bugs.
You
right?
play
But
Skyrim when it first came out. You play
right. That's what I'm saying. It's
Fallout
like,
New Vegas was a buggy, shitty mess that crashed over and over and over. And I love
people
the
loved
shit out of it.
And people loved it. And people love Cyberpunk.
And it got better.
And it got better. And it's 2020 now. And when you release a game and when you hype it that much, people expect more.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they should have stuck to their guns. Release when it's ready.
Yeah.
But
they showed the product off to a bunch of people and said this is what it's going to look like, and the vast majority of users, which are last gen console users, and they know this, they lied to those people.
I apologize,
and that's the problem.
And that's it. Is there anything other?
No,
I want because I didn't address my review. So my review is taking a long time. I apologize about that, guys. But it's Christmas time. I have family in, and I want to make it as best as possible. There seems to be a new story about Cyberpunk all the freaking time. I'm trying to incorporate as much as I can because at this point, since we've already put our early impressions, we've already kind of get our impressions in an angry rant out there. I kind of want to make it almost like a retrospective kind of thing where it's like just encompassing, some of the stuff that's around it in addition to the game itself. So please be patient on that, and that's it, guys. Craziness, crazy. And plus, I don't think I've had a major release like this in December 10th, you know, and that was because they were like, oh, God.
Well,
yeah,
usually end of November.
They're trying to get it out as soon as possible, and they probably should have delayed it again, honestly. So,
Yeah.
anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We want to thank our sponsors, Crunchyroll. Click those links down below. Support them. If you're into good anime, you should have a Crunchyroll, a premium subscription, so you can get all the best. You can download the anime whenever you want. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we shall see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys. Oh, and tell us how you like the soundboard, if that sounded good. I think it was a little too loud when I switched over. I mid one, I was doing I tried to lower it a little bit, so you'll have to let us know which one you like best. Okay, bye, guys.